I'm Venu Keller. Welcome to Venu Inspires. It's time to give your children a childhood they won't have to heal from. Do you know what self-love is? I used to hear that term all the time. Do you have self-love? Everything starts with self-love. But for the longest time, I would say, yes, I have self-love. Of course I have self-love. I'm Venu Keller. I'm known as the Parent-Child Whisperer. Today, I'm going to teach you 4 things that I have done to create true self-love for myself. Working with kids for so long, one of the questions I ask them is, do they know their parents love them? And they say, of course I do. They're my mom. I can go into that a little deeper later. But when I ask them the same question, do you know if you love you? And they look at me very puzzled. And it doesn't matter if I'm talking to a 13-year-old, a 10-year-old, an 18-year-old. In that moment, they think, of course I have self-love. Of course I love myself. And then I ask them the question, how do you show yourself self-love? And that really puzzles them. They have to sit there and they ponder, I don't know. So I came up with these 4 things just as a simple guideline to help kids and adults really understand what self-love is. So the first thing is not sacrificing yourself for the sake of someone else. You know, especially with kids, because kids can be cruel. You know, even now, as much as we did when we were growing up, when we were kids, but it's almost worse now because they have social media, they have the internet, and people post things. And so when we try to fit in, a lot of times we sacrifice the character that we are. Maybe we're a nice person, all of a sudden we're mean to someone because we wanted to fit in, we wanted to belong. So we sacrifice who we are at our core so we fit in with these people, our peer groups. And so real self-love is loving yourself enough to not sacrifice yourself because you want someone else to be proud of you. You want someone else to believe in you. You want someone else to accept you. True self-love is loving yourself enough to say, no, I'm not going to be mean to them. Not today, not any day, because that's just not who I am. The second thing is having non-negotiable boundaries. So what that means, what are the boundaries you put around yourself that's non-negotiable? Like one of my boundaries is I won't have someone just yell at me and cuss at me and think that's okay. I will walk away because that is one of my non-negotiables. Why would I sit there and just take that? Why would I just sit there and let someone just go on a rant and yell in my face, calling me all these mean things and think it's okay? Because I love myself. Would I let someone do that to my child? Would I let someone do that to my husband? Would I let someone do that to a friend? No. Well, why would I let someone do that to me? Do I love myself enough to have these boundaries that are non-negotiable, that really elevate who I am as a person? The third thing is giving yourself grace, the way you give other people's grace. So let's just say you have a friend and they made a mistake and you were mad at them. Of course, you were mad at them, right? Something happened. It was a mistake on their part. They weren't willing to take ownership yet. You still wanted to blame whatever that conflict was. And then you guys made up. And then we give them grace. When you forgive someone, you're giving them grace. You're realizing that we're all here doing this for the first time in this world. And we're going to mess up. And it's through our mistakes that we learn, that we get better, that we become the better version of ourselves. How do you give yourself grace when you mess up? Do you beat yourself up? Or do you give that grace to say, you know what? I messed up. I'm going to take ownership for it. I'm going to find the wisdom in it. And then I'm going to move forward. giving yourself grace, just like the same way you would give someone else grace. And the fourth thing is remember we are all growing, even yourself. We're all growing in this world. We're all learning and growing. Like I just said, finding the wisdom to help us grow through something. So we're not hanging on to something that happened that was bad, hanging on to something that hurt us. It's finding the wisdom in it, finding the gift in it if you can. But sometimes it's hard when you get hurt, something happens to you. It's hard to find the gift in it in that moment, but can you find the wisdom? Maybe that's looking in it for yourself and saying, what did I need to learn from this? Because if everything is happening for us, it's definitely happening through us. So if we can teach ourselves this and we can emulate what self-love is within ourselves, think about what that will do when your child is watching you. How are you teaching your child self-love? We definitely talk about self-worth a lot, but this is that foundation of loving yourself enough to say no to things, even when you really want to do it because everyone else is. It's saying, when you're saying no to them, you're saying yes to you. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.